सिक्स चैप्टर वो इंडेक्स में से देख लीजिए, ऊपर लिखा रहेगा अध्याय 6 टेक्स्ट वन। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण। So yes, anyone online? Remember?
Yes, it is about the karma yoga, action in Krishna consciousness.
Action in Krishna consciousness.
One must work in devotional service to be better. Then it is better than try mental speculation.
Correct.
The renunciation of the work and work in devotion are both good for liberation, but the work in devotional service is better than the renunciation of work.
Yes. Anything else?
Yes, just a minute.
So in the 5th chapter, Krishna first explains that how action in Krishna consciousness, या जो हम कार्य करते हैं, भगवान वो अर्जुन सवाल पूछते हैं कि क्या बेटर है कि छोड़ करके चले जाना, रिनाउंस कर देना, कि हाँ, he's telling to Arjun, he what is better? He's asking Arjun is asking to Krishna, what is better? Is work better or renunciation better? हाँ. So Krishna actually in the 2nd chapter and the 3rd chapter he explained work in devotion. Right? He is not saying हाँ, थोड़ा मिक्स करना पड़ेगा, मैं दोनों बोलूँगा. तो वो बताते हैं कि खाली रिनाउंस नहीं करना है, खाली त्यागना नहीं है, बट जो काम करना है वो भगवान के लिए काम करना है. दैट इज बेटर देन mere renunciation. तो वर्क इन डिवोशन अर्जुन को समझ में नहीं आता है, बिकॉज भगवान बुद्धि योग के बारे में समझाते हैं कि हाउ एक्शन इन कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस इज आल्सो बुद्धि योगा, और एंड दैट एक्शन लीड्स टू ट्रांसेंडेंटल नॉलेज. यू आर गुड विद इंग्लिश, राइट? हाँ, वो जो कर्म है वो हमें आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान प्रदान करता है. Internally you realize so many things when you act in Krishna consciousness like that. तो अर्जुन को फिर ये सवाल आता है कि मैं कंफ्यूज हो गया. एक तरफ आप बोल रहे हो कि कार्य करो भगवान के लिए, कर्म करो, राइट? और दूसरी तरफ आप बोल रहे हो कि यूज योर इंटेलिजेंस एंड कीप अबॉमिनेबल एक्शंस अवे. बुद्धि योग का प्रयोग करके सारे जो गलत कार्य है उनसे दूर रहो. अभी अर्जुन सोच रहा है कि सबको मारना तो गलत कार्य है तो क्या करूं मैं? एक और फिर बोलते भी है लड़ो. बोले एक तरफ बोल रहे हो लड़ना है, दूसरी तरफ बोलते हो कि गलत कार्य दूर रखने हैं बुद्धि योग के द्वारा. तो करना क्या है आखिर, राइट? तो इसलिए भगवान 5th चैप्टर बताते हैं. 5th चैप्टर में कृष्णा क्लियरली एक्सप्लेन्स, अगेन क्लियर्स द डाउट ऑफ अर्जुना, दैट हाउ ही इज सपोज्ड टू डू एक्शन इन कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस. नॉट जस्ट एक्शन, बट वो कार्य जो भगवान को समर्पित है. तो सबसे पहले वो बताते हैं कि किसी भी चीज की अपेक्षा किए बगैर कार्य जो करना है वो बहुत अच्छा है. फिर वो उसके आगे जाकर के बताते हैं कि अगर हम भगवान को अपने जो कर्म के जो फल है वो भगवान को अर्पण करें तो वो और ज्यादा अच्छा है. फिर और आगे जाके बताते हैं कि हम भगवान के लिए ही कार्य करें तो वो बेस्ट है. और फिर बताते हैं कि किस तरह से इससे हमें सिद्धि प्राप्त होगी, मोक्ष प्राप्त होगा. और मोक्ष प्राप्त करने के लिए फिर भगवान टुवर्ड्स द लास्ट सेक्शन ऑफ 5th चैप्टर ही अगेन टचेस अप, वो टच करते हैं कि दूसरे क्या तरीके हैं भगवान को प्राप्त करने के लिए. और उसमें वो अष्टांग योग का जिक्र करते हैं कुछ लास्ट श्लोकों में 5वें अध्याय के 5th चैप्टर के. सो वहीं से ये कनेक्शन है टू 6th चैप्टर. सो दोज हू डोंट हैव भगवद गीता कैन पुल अप योर मोबाइल फोन्स एंड vedabase.io पे जाकर के उसमें भगवद गीता को सिलेक्ट कीजिए और 6th चैप्टर पे जाइए, सो दैट यू हैव भगवद गीता ऑन योर फोन. vedabase.io, vedabase, because we'll be chanting the Sloka together. So हम 6ठा अध्याय शुरू कर रहे हैं. ओके, शुरू करें. श्री भगवान वाचा अनाश्रित कर्म फलम कार्यं कर्म करोति यः स सन्यासी च योगी च न निराग्निर्न चाक्रिया। Okay, you would like to read the translation? Translation. English. You want to read the translation? Yes. So, in continuation to what Krishna described earlier, he's again repeating this. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached, जो कि आसक्त नहीं है, भगवान बोल रहे हैं जो कि आसक्त नहीं है, to the fruits of his work, अपने कर्म फल से, and who works as he is obligated in the renounced order of life. वो कार्य इसीलिए कर रहा है कि करना है, he is obligated to work, but वो अंदर से अनासक्त है, in the renounced order of life. He is true mystic, वही जो है असली योगी है. And not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. वो व्यक्ति योगी नहीं है कि जो कुछ कार्य नहीं करता है या कोई अपना जिम्मेदारी नहीं निभाता है, राइट? वो व्यक्ति योगी नहीं है, but one who actually does activities but as if he is renounced completely, internally he is renounced. वो खाली obligation है इसलिए कर रहा है. भगवान भी बताते हैं पिछले चैप्टर्स में कि how Krishna, he is not bound by karma, he is not obligated to do any duty, but still he does, right? जनक महाराज का भी एग्जाम्पल देते हैं कि वो भी कार्य क्यों करते हैं, दूसरों को एग्जाम्पल सेट करने के लिए. उनको कार्य करने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो ऑलरेडी लिबरेटेड है, राइट? जनक महाराज, कृष्ण तो स्वयं भगवान है, उनको तो कार्य करने की जरूरत नहीं है, बट वो करते हैं दूसरों को सिखाने के लिए. So in this chapter, the Lord explains that the process of eightfold yoga system is a means to control the mind and senses. However, this is very difficult for people in general to perform, especially in the age of Kali. Do you have a marker? However, this is very difficult for people in general to perform, especially in the age of Kali. Although eightfold yoga system is recommended in this chapter, the Lord emphasizes that the process of karma yoga, or acting in Krishna consciousness, is better. So Bhagavad Gita में भगवान सारे योगों के बारे में बता रहे हैं, right? तो ये 6th chapter is dedicated to ध्यान योगा और अष्टांग योगा. उसको ध्यान योगा भी कहा जाता है, अष्टांग योगा, हठ योगा, ये सारे इसी चीज के नाम हैं, right? तो भगवान बता रहे हैं कि प्रभुपाद यहाँ पे लिख रहे हैं कि although Krishna he describes different types of yogas, he is saying Krishna consciousness, acting in Krishna consciousness is the best, right? कलि युगा में स्पेशली ध्यान योग जो प्रोसेस था वो सत्युग का प्रोसेस था. सत्य युगा, त्रेता युगा, द्वापर युगा, कल युगा, राइट? सो सत्युग का प्रोसेस है. तो ये अष्टांग योगा क्या है वो भी हम थोड़ा देखेंगे. एंड everyone acts in this world to maintain his family and their paraphernalia, but no one is working without some self interest. अपना कुछ self interest नहीं रहेगा तो मैं काम क्यों करूंगा, right? That's what you're going to say. Some personal gratification, be it concentrated or extended. या तो मैं अपने सुख के लिए कार्य कर रहा हूं, मेरे शरीर के सुख के लिए कार्य कर रहा हूं, या तो मेरे परिवार, extended sense gratification, परिवार के लिए या सोसाइटी के लिए या कम्युनिटी के लिए या नेशन के लिए, right? So this is all extended sense gratification. The criterion of perfection is to act in Krishna consciousness and not with a view of to enjoy the fruits of it. So perfection क्या है? भगवान के लिए कार्य करना, right? That is perfection, ना कि अपने लिए. To act in Krishna consciousness is the duty of every living entity because all are constitutionally part and parcel of the Supreme. So हमारा constitutional duty क्या है? भगवान की सेवा करना. ये तो पता ही नहीं था. पता था आपको बचपन में किसी ने बताया था कि हमारा constitutional duty is to serve Lord. किसने बताया था? किसी ने नहीं बताया, right? हाँ हाँ अच्छे पेरेंट्स हाँ
फिर बड़े हुए थोड़ा आगे गए फिर फैमिली में दूसरा गया फिर इस्कॉन मंदिर है ना भारत में इलाहाबाद में वो टिके
वेरी नाइस। तो ये बहुत फॉर्चुनेट है आप तो राइट, ऐसा एसोसिएशन बचपन से मिला है या बचपन से सिखाया है माँ बाप ने कि माला करिए या भगवान का नाम लीजिए, बट वरना नॉर्मली हमको कोई स्कूल में सिखाया जाता है नहीं। तो our constitutional position, जीवेर स्वरूप होय कृष्ण नित्यदास, you are part and parcel of the Lord. The duty of the part is to serve the whole. जैसे मेरा उंगली है, राइट, उंगली का कार्य क्या है? पूरे शरीर की सेवा करना, राइट, to pick the food, put in the mouth, goes to the stomach, and then internally all the energy required by the fingers to function is supplied. बोलेगा नहीं 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 मैं तो अपना अलग से फूड खाऊंगा fingers possible not, right? So the duty of the part is to serve the whole. So similarly, हमारा we being part and parcel of Krishna, our duty is to serve Krishna. The part of the body works for satisfaction of the whole body. The limbs of the body do not act for self-satisfaction, but for satisfaction of complete whole. Similarly, the living entity who acts for satisfaction of the supreme whole and not for personal satisfaction is perfect sannyasi or perfect yogi. So if you want to be perfect yogi or perfect sannyasi, right, you have to act for Krishna. The sannyasis sometimes artificially think that they have become liberated from all material duties. Therefore, they cease to perform Agnihotra Yagyas, the fire sacrifice, but actually they are self-interested because their goal is to become one with impersonal Brahman. So बहुत सारे ऐसे सन्यासी भी होते हैं जो कि सोचते हैं कि हमें तो कुछ लेना देना नहीं है भौतिक जगत से, हम तो कुछ कार्य नहीं करेंगे. You will find so many Moni Babas, ऐसा पट्टा लगा करके कि हम बोलेंगे भी नहीं, right? Forget working, we won't even speak, right? So that is not correct. Right, that's what, so they think they become liberated, और ये सोचते कि हाँ हम तो liberated हो गए, right? हमको कोई material duties का कोई जरूरत नहीं है, but actually and they stop performing the yagyas also, right? We'll see Ashtanga Yoga के parts अभी, they actually stop performing the positive activities also, ये सोच कर कि हम तो liberated है, right? But they are actually self-interested, क्योंकि उनका self interest क्या है? उनको भगवान से they have to merge into the existence of God. Impersonal. So we'll also discuss, थोड़ा सा confusing रहेगा, I'm sure. What is the impersonal feature of the Lord? So Krishna describes, or Srimad Bhagavatam says, Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwaniti shabdate. The absolute truth, right? जो परम सत्य है उसको तीन फीचर्स में जाना जाता है अलग अलग लोगों द्वारा, right? So first feature is Brahman. Brahman means, जैसे बहुत सारे लोग सोचते हैं कि अरे भगवान का कोई आकार नहीं है, राइट, निराकार है, इज लाइक एनर्जी स्प्रेड अक्रॉस द यूनिवर्स, राइट, इज लाइक लाइट, ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग एग्जांपल्स देते हैं, राइट. सो देयर आर सेट ऑफ पीपल हु थिंक गॉड हैज नो फॉर्म, खाली एक एनर्जी है, एक लाइट है, राइट. सो दैट इज ब्रह्मन रियलाइजेशन, राइट. दैट्स अ वेरी फर्स्ट स्टेप, ब्रह्मन रियलाइजेशन. कुछ लोग आगे जाकर के बोलते हैं ओ गॉड इज प्रेजेंट एवरीवेयर, भगवान कण कण में है. That is Paramatma realization, right? Paramatma is there in every atom, right? He is also there in your heart. So हर एक में परमात्मा है. So that's the second level, Paramatma realization. And the third level is Bhagavan realization. That yes, God is a person. भगवान एक व्यक्ति है, right? So ईशोपनिषद में श्लोक आता है, ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते, right? हाँ, सबको आता है, right? Which means he is a complete unit. From him there are several complete units coming, and even when several complete units are coming out of the complete, that complete still remains complete, right? So it's like 1 minus 1 is 1, right? So हम भगवान से आए, we are all parts and parcels of God. So if we have a form, we have a personality, right? तो हमारे सोर्स के पास ये होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए, right? He should definitely have a form. If he lacks a form or if he lacks a personality, how is he complete? वो ओम पूर्ण, पूर्ण का मतलब ही नहीं रहेगा. वो पूर्ण है मतलब उनके पास पर्सनालिटी भी है, फॉर्म भी है, सब है, राइट? So so those who are impersonalist, Brahmavadis, of very basic first level of realization. So one who realizes Bhagavan feature, he automatically realizes Brahman and Paraman. These are subsets of Bhagavan realization, right? जो जिनको भगवान रियलाइजेशन, भगवान के बारे में पता है, उसको ब्रह्म क्या है, उसको यह पता है कि ब्रह्म जो है, ब्रह्मन जो है भगवान के शरीर से निकला हुआ कांति है, तेज है, राइट? परमात्मा क्या है? भगवान का ये एक एक्सपेंशन है, विस्तार रूप है, जो कि कण कण में समय हो, जिसकी वजह से ये सारा जगत चलता है। तो जो भगवान का रियलाइजेशन है, जिसको हो गया या जिसको भगवान के बारे में पता है, उसको सब मालूम है। जो परमात्मावादी है उसको खाली ब्रह्मवादी के बारे में थोड़ा पता रहेगा। जो ब्रह्मवादी है, he thinks Brahman is ultimate, परमात्मा भगवान, he has no clue, right? So there are so many impersonal sannyasis, they think कि we have to merge into the existence of Brahman, उनको वो लाइट में मर्ज होना है। उनका आइडिया क्या है कि हम भगवान बन जाएंगे, राइट? हम भगवान बन जाएंगे। When can this finger become me? ये मेरा उंगली कब मैं बन जाऊंगा? कब बन सकता है ये फिंगर मैं? कभी नहीं। फिंगर विल ऑलवेज रिमेन अ फिंगर, राइट? सो हम कभी भगवान नहीं बन सकते। बट बहुत सारे ऐसे हैं, उनको हम मायावादी भी बोलते हैं, राइट? तो वो लोग का सोचना है कि हम योग से या किसी से तपस्या से हम इतने ऊपर उठ जाएंगे कि हम भगवान बन जाएंगे, राइट? तो दैट इज अ रॉन्ग नोशन ऑल टुगेदर। सो सच डिजायर इज ग्रेटर देन एनी मटेरियल डिजायर। ये जो इच्छा है कि मैं भगवान बन जाऊं, वो भौतिक इच्छा से भी गया गुजरा है। किसी को घर चाहिए, बंगला चाहिए, उससे भी गया गुजरा है मैं भगवान बन जाऊं, राइट? तो सबसे थर्ड क्लास और 10th क्लास, rather not in third class, 10th class desire, right? But it is not without self interest. ये सबसे ज्यादा बड़ा उनका self interest है। Similarly, the mystic yogi who practice the yoga system with half open eyes, right? जब योगा करने बैठे, अष्टांग योगा, आपको योगा स्टूडियोज में आजकल बताते हैं आंख बंद कर दो, but actually if you see the shastra, it's half closed eyes, focusing on the tip of the nose, right? Seizing all material activity, और कुछ कार्य नहीं करना है, desires some satisfaction for his personal interest, right? Even ये जो ऐसा योगी है जो आंख बंद करके खाली यहाँ पे देख रहा है और कुछ दूसरा कुछ, उसका भी सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट है। But a person acting in Krishna consciousness works for the satisfaction of whole without self interest. जो व्यक्ति जिसमें कृष्ण भावना में विकसित हो गया है, वो दूसरों के लिए कार्य करता है, भगवान के लिए कार्य करता है। A Krishna conscious person has no desire for self satisfaction. His criteria of success is satisfaction of Krishna. Thus, he is a perfect sannyasi or perfect yogi. Lord Chaitanya, the highest perfectional symbol of renunciation, prays in this way. Oh Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. What I want only is the causeless mercy of your devotional service in my life, birth after birth. So जो शुद्ध भक्त है भगवान का, वो क्या इच्छा करता है? उसको स्वयं के लिए कोई इच्छा नहीं है, उसको कृष्ण कैसे प्रसन्न हो, उसको वो देखना है। और चैतन्य महाप्रभु जो कि राधा रानी के भाव में अवतरित हुए हैं, हमको सिखाने के लिए कि किस तरह से भक्ति करनी है, वो बताते हैं कि वो प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं कि हे भगवान, मुझे कोई इच्छा नहीं है पैसे की या टू एंजॉय ब्यूटीफुल वुमेन, नॉट डू आई हैव, मेरे को ज्यादा फॉलोअर्स भी नहीं चाहिए, मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए, मुझे खाली आपकी अहितु की भक्ति चाहिए, जन्म लाइफ आफ्टर लाइफ। तो भक्ति की इच्छा क्या है? मुझे सेवा ही करना है, बिकॉज सेवा करने से उसको जो आनंद मिलता है वो और कहीं नहीं है, राइट? तो ये अष्टांग योग क्या है वो हम समझेंगे, और 6th चैप्टर का जो इनिशियल पार्ट है वो मैं थोड़ा बोर्ड पे समझाऊंगा। So ये चैप्टर का नाम है अष्टांग योगा और ध्यान योगा से अष्टांग योगा. The literal meaning of the word is ashtanga, right? 8 limbs. किसको पता है 8 limbs क्या क्या है? अष्टांग योग के 8 limbs. Oh, अच्छा, it's not visible. ठीक है, you can switch off. हाँ. So first one is yama, niyam, आसन, प्राणायाम. आगे किसको पता है? प्रत्याहार, आगे धारणा, ध्यान, समाधि. Is it visible or it's too far? Okay. So yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana and samadhi. Okay. These are the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. Prashant, can you just pull this up? Extension चाहिए मुझे. So मेरा battery खत्म हो रहा है. Okay. So what is yama? Yama are the don'ts, the nots, right? Niyama are the do's. Asana is asana, right? Pranayama is breathing, controlling the breath, fixing the body. Actually, asana is fixing. Pratyahara is जब हम स्पेशली चैंटिंग के टाइम पे बहुत आसानी से शायद समझ में आता होगा. यहाँ पे कितने लोग चैंट करते हैं हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र? नाइस. तो जब करने बैठते हैं तो क्या होता है? मन कहाँ जाता है? शांत होता है. वाह. So the mind runs here and there, right? So pratyahara is to catch the mind. Dharana is to fix the mind. Dhyana is to meditate on the Lord. And samadhi is uninterrupted meditation. कोई रीड आउट कर सकता है?
Yama, do nots, niyam, do's, asanas fixing the body, pranayam breathing, pratyahara catch the mind, dharana fix the mind on the Lord, dhyana meditate on the Lord, and samadhi is uninterrupted meditation.
So, so 6th chapter, first 4 shlokas, they talk about this yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, right? 6.1 to 6.4, right? So today we'll cover this, right? And 6.5 to 6.9, right? Covers the rest 4. Right? So somebody who's a neophyte means somebody who's new or somebody who's not very expert, right? in Ashtanga Yoga, they actually are at these levels: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama. This is the immature level of yoga practice. So this is called as yoga ruksha. It's called as yoga ruksha. So the first four falls under the category of yoga ruksha, right? Immature stage, and this is the mature. After they mature in their yoga practice, the next four items are yoga ruksha, right? The mature stage of practice of yoga, right? So yama means rules and regulations. Right? Yama niyam means rules and regulations. What to not to follow, परहेज होता है, और क्या करना चाहिए वो होता है. Right? हम योगा क्लास में जाते हैं, हमको बताया जाता है कि क्या नहीं करना है. बताते नहीं बताते. Like, क्या करना है वो थोड़ा बहुत सीधा आसन से चालू करते हैं. Most of the time कभी कभी प्राणायाम कर लेते हैं. They don't tell us yama and niyama. So I remember there was this person had 3-day Bhagavad Gita course ले रहे थे, और हमारा last day पे the session is called as yoga for the modern age. तो वहाँ पर हम जब थोड़ा बहुत योगा के बारे में बताना शुरू किया, तो this person he describes how yoga is very nice, right? मैं जब भी योगा करता हूँ तो मेरे को हैंगओवर नहीं होता है. मैं शराब पी के आता हूँ तो अगले दिन हैंगओवर नहीं होता है योगा करने से. Right? Which means he's not doing yoga, right? Because the first thing is yama and niyama, do's and don'ts, right? And the meaning of the word yoga, I think I have described here, right, is to connect. Yujyate iti yoga, that which connects is yoga. So we are connecting, Jivan is connecting to the Lord. Therefore, अगर आप ये process भी देखेंगे, right? So yama, do's and don'ts are to behave like a human being, right? Then asana is to fix the body for meditation. भगवान पे ध्यान लगाने के लिए हमें अपने बॉडी को फिक्स करना है. Otherwise, when I sit in meditation, right, I will be meditating on the pain in my knee. मेरे कमर मतलब नी के दर्द के ऊपर मेरा ध्यान रहेगा, भगवान पे नहीं रहेगा, right? So to fix the body for meditation. Pranayama is to control the breath, so that I can, instead of focusing on the Lord, मैं कहीं और focus ना करूँ. And this also helps in controlling the mind to a great extent. Pranayama and pratyahara, they help us in controlling the mind. Because when we control the breath, then we realize that our mind is all over the place. Then we catch the mind. Then यहाँ चला गया, क्या उसको? Right? When the act of getting it back is called dharana. Getting it back and fixing it on the Lord. तो जब हम जप करते हैं, then we experience it, when we chant the holy names of the Lord, this is exactly what we are doing. Right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. US में ये चल रहा है, right? यूक्रेन में वॉर हो गया, फिर I'm not chanting. Then we get back the mind, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So this act of getting the mind back and fixing it on the Lord is pratyahara. It's called pratyahara, capturing the mind and bringing it back on the Lord and fixing it on the Lord. So pratyahara and dharana. So somebody who's chanting, simply कुछ नहीं किया लाइफ में, सब कुछ नहीं किया, सिर्फ चैंट करना शुरू किया, is already starting off with the yoga ruda stage, pratyahara, dharana. And उसमें भी आपका एक माला बहुत अच्छा हो गया, right? ध्यान. और अगर आप बहुत जप करते करते एकदम खो गए उसमें, तो समाधि. Right? Okay, samadhi is like uninterrupted meditation, you're not. But Prabhupada used to say that devotees were serving the Lord. He said Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON, he started the movement in 1967. तो बहुत सारे लोग उनके साथ जुड़े थे. तो उन्होंने devotees को इतना सुंदर प्रोग्राम दिया. सुबह मंगल आरती 4:30 बजे, 4:30 से लेकर के 9 बजे तक they would have आरती, chanting, गुरु पूजा, नरसिम्हा आरती, तुलसी आरती, right? और फिर श्रीमद् भागवतम क्लास, तो ये पूरा प्रोग्राम दे दिया 4:30 to 9 एंड 9 बजे के बाद प्रसाद लो और बाहर चले जाओ संकीर्तन को। संकीर्तन मतलब go out in the streets, chant Hare Krishna, distribute books, talk to people, invite them to the temple. So throughout the day, devotees would be out on Sankirtan for good 12 hours. सुबह 9 बजे से लेकर के रात के 9 बजे तक बाहर रहते थे, right? Sometimes they would come early, 7 o'clock also. 7 o'clock again in evening, Gaur Aarti, 7:30 Bhagavad Gita class, and then take some prasadam and sleep. And before sleeping, read Krishna book. So like that, their entire day was centered around Krishna, right? So they were in the stage of samadhi, uninterrupted meditation. Right? This is what we can also do practically. Try to do at least. So Patanjali also, there's another. This is a broad view, right? Overall view. There is Patanjali Yoga Sutras. किसी ने सुना है? Patanjali, अगर किसी yoga से पूछोगे, is the father of yoga, right? Ashtanga yoga particularly. So they also describe yama and niyama in great detail, right? You can tell me what are the yamas and niyamas?
I think Mataji once
Yeah, but
Ahimsa,
Satya, Asteya,
Ahimsa,
Asteya, Aparigraha,
Brahmacharya. This is yama and niyama.
Short, Santosh,
Socha, Santosh,
Tapas,
Tapas.
Swadhyay, Shvatraya.
So yoga, according to Yoga Sutras, according to Yoga Sutras, these are the yamas, the don'ts, and these are the do's, niyamas, right? So first is ahimsa, do not kill, right? So that's pretty straightforward. If you do that, they also explain the result, right? So ahimsa ka kya result hai? If we are peaceful towards all other living entities will also be peaceful towards us. And we see this in life of great devotees. Like Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was one of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years back. So Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family. So he was considering himself very low birth, right? And therefore he would not come. वो इसलिए भक्तों के पास भी नहीं जाते थे, दूर से ही प्रणाम करते थे और अपना भजन करते थे। तो एक बार क्या हो गया, जगन्नाथपुरी के एरिया में वो किसी केव में रह रहे थे, just because he wanted to avoid, मेरा छाया भी किसी डिवोटी में नहीं पड़ना चाहिए, was that kind of thought. तो केव में रह रहे थे जहाँ पे एक सांप रहता था. So he used to easily cohabitate. Very, very ferocious python was there, but he was very peacefully cohabitating with the python, right? And then दूसरे devotees उनको मिलने जाते थे तो वो डर जाते थे, अरे python है अंदर. So when the python realized there are other devotees who are trying to come, but because of me they are scared, python left. So ahimsa, that is the result. You very peacefully cohabitate with other living entities, or they are also becoming peaceful towards you. Then satya, right? If you say the truth, always, right? Yeah. So this is basically not lie, no lying. That's the don't, no lying. Right? If you do not lie, you always say satya, right? Krishna's one name is Satya Sankalpa. Satya Sankalpa means that whatever he says comes true. It's Krishna, right? वो जो बोलेंगे वो सत्य हो जाएगा. He's परम सत्य. Whatever he speaks becomes truth. So similarly, somebody who takes this vow of satya, right, or not lying, is he's empowered, and whatever he says comes true. So that is the benefit of satya. Then asteya, no stealing. Right? So you should not steal, of course. Right? And what is the benefit of no stealing? The benefit is somebody who does not steal is not running after mundane wealth. He actually achieves real wealth, which is a spiritual knowledge. उसको असली धन मिलता है, right? असली मतलब चोरी नहीं करना, चोरी नहीं करते हैं तो उसको असली धन प्राप्त होता है। अपरिग्रह। हाँ, so this is the freedom from possessiveness. ये तो मेरा है, ये भी मेरा है, right? इकट्ठा करना, जमा करना और पकड़ के रखना, right? So that is अपरिग्रह, तो वो नहीं करना है। And brahmacharya. So this basically results in liberation. If you are able to no sex, if you are able to control your sex, then liberation. You are automatically able to control all your other senses. Then the mind is not in control, you are in control, right? And right? What is the result of parigraha? Not holding on to it. He gets all the facility for serving the Lord.
Get some higher post in the
Yes. So basically, the more you try to possess, the more miserable you become. There is no happiness. It's completely opposite. जितना hold करने का try करेंगे उतना दुख रहेगा. So this person becomes happy. And niyama similarly, such as cleanliness, there is internal cleanliness, external cleanliness. Right? External cleanliness is you take a bath, right? Or you make your surroundings very, very clean. And internal cleanliness कैसे करें?
Good.
Internal, not just bodily internal.
By chanting.
Yes. Right? So, antara bahya suchi, right? We normally do achman, right? We say antara bahya suchi, right? Let my externals be clean, let my mind also be purified, like that. So internal cleanliness comes by chanting the names of the Lord. So Krishna says, Shrunutam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantasthoya Bhadran Vidunoti Suratsata. The Lord himself, Vidunoti Suratsata. Dunoti means to clean. Vidunoti means special cleaning. So when Krishna hears his own name, he's sitting in the heart as Paramatma. When he hears his own name, goes to the ear, reaches here. Right? When he hears, oh, this person is chanting my name, Vidunoti Suratsata. He does special cleaning. Special cleaning of the heart. Right? So that's Soch. Then Santosh, right? A devotee needs to be satisfied with whatever little they have, right? Whatever facility is available. Santosh, right? That's one of the very, very good quality. One, you can have everything in the world but still be dissatisfied, right? Still want more, and you can have very little and you can be satisfied. So, Vaman Dev, one of the incarnations of Lord Vishnu, जब वो बलि महाराज से 3 पग भूमि मांगते हैं तो बलि महाराज बोलते हैं कि अरे मैं राजा हूँ और मेरे पास तो सारे 14 लोक का आधिपत्य है, right? Not just this planet Earth but all the 14 planetary systems are under me. क्या मांगे मुझसे? खाली 3 पग जमीन, and he was very small. Vaman Dev is a dwarf, right? Very, very small. So Vaman Dev then says that I'm a Brahmana. Brahmanas are supposed to be satisfied. Right? अगर संतोष नहीं है तो you can have everything and you'll still be agitated. सब कुछ मिलने के बाद भी तुम असंतुष्ट रहोगे. But जिसमें संतोष का धन है वो 3 पग में भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. But वो 3 पग जो मांग हुए थे वो बुरे मांग थे, right? And then tapasya. So right, Rishabdev in Bhagavatam he describes tapo divyam putrika yena sattvam, how this life is meant for तपस्या. और हमें कैसी तपस्या करनी है जो हमें भगवान की ओर ले जाए, ना कि हमें भगवान से अलग ले जाए. बहुत सारे लोग जैसे there's a Jain community, right? They have very, very severe तपस्या. देखो मेरे एक फ्रेंड ने बताया, वो जैन था, तो बता रहा था कि उसमें संन्यास लेते कुछ तो बोलते हैं उनको, हाँ, तो उसमें अपने हाथ से उसने बाल उखाड़ने लगता है। That is, वो वैसी तपस्या नहीं करते। बहुत सारे लोग हैं अपने आप को कांटे घुसा देते हैं जबान में और कहाँ का और बॉडी मारते हैं, तो वो तपस्या is not recommended, right? There is तपस्या in the mode of ignorance, right? वो तामसिक तपस्या है। तो हमें तपस्या ऐसी करनी है जो भगवान की वो ली जाए। एंड स्वाध्याय स्वयं शास्त्र पढ़ने हैं और you have to also introspect मतलब अपने मन में क्या चल रहा है, कितना इम्प्रूवमेंट है, वो खुद भी इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करना है, खुद भी ध्यान देना है, उस पर फोकस करके कि मैं कहाँ तक पहुंचा हूँ, अंदर अभी भी कितना है राइट। तो वो है इंट्रोस्पेक्शन। So that comes in Swadhyaya, and then Ishwar Pranidhana. So everything we do it for Krishna. The goal, the ultimate goal of all this is to move towards Krishna. So that's Ishwar Pranidhana. So this is Yama and Niyama as per Pāṇḍu, right? So those are the don'ts and do's, and then fixing the body, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Okay. Oops. Sit here. Hare Krishna. I was audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, great. So, ये जो अष्टांग योग प्रोसेस है, यही ये चैप्टर में अभी आगे बताएंगे। So, ये यहाँ तक पूरा अष्टांग योग के अलग अलग स्टेजेस बताए, योगा रुरुक्षा, योगा रूढ़ा। इसके आगे 6 चैप्टर में from 6.10 onwards up till I think 33, Krishna explains he explains the benefit, right, and how to practice. So what to practice and uska result, what to practice ka result, right? So sadhana or what is that, result को हिंदी में क्या बोलेंगे? हाँ, साधना और सिद्धि। तो ये साधना करेंगे, ये सिद्धि, ये साधना, ये सिद्धि। तो ऐसा करके पूरे 10 श्लोक से लेकर के 33 श्लोक तक भगवान साधना सिद्धि का कॉम्बिनेशन बताते रहते हैं कि हरे कृष्णा ऐसा करेंगे तो फिर ये होगा, ऐसा करेंगे ये होगा, ऐसे। तो वो वहाँ हम बाद में जाएंगे आगे, नेक्स्ट वीक्स में हम उनको डिस्कशन करेंगे। So let's read the second shloka. So I've actually given you the summary of the first 4 shlokas, and even the other 4 shlokas will come in detail. It also touches upon how to control the mind, but at least first 4 shlokas will go through in detail. So पहला श्लोक हो गया, go to the second one. यम संन्यासमिति प्राहुर योगम तम विधि पांडव नाहि असन्न्यस्त संकल्पो योगी भवति कश्चन. Somebody can read the translation? Yes.
What is called renunciation? You should know to be the same as yoga, or linking oneself with the Supreme. O son of Pāṇḍu, for one can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification.
Yes. So भगवान बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पर कि जो सन्यासी है, जो त्याग करता है, वो और जो योगी है वो दोनों सेम ही है, राइट? बिकॉज दोनों का पर्पस क्या है? अपने आप को भगवान से जोड़ना, राइट? So, O son of Pāṇḍu, one can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. So, वास्तव में एक व्यक्ति योगी तब बनता है जब वो अपने स्वयं की इंद्रिय तृप्ति की इच्छाओं को त्याग करके भगवान की इंद्रिय तृप्ति के लिए कार्य करता है. So, प्रॉपर्ट में बताते हैं रियल सन्यास योगा और भक्ति means that one should know his constitutional position as living entity and act accordingly. The living entity has no separate independent identity. He is a marginal energy of the Supreme. When he is entrapped by material energy, he is conditioned, and when he is in Krishna consciousness or aware of the spiritual energy, then he is in his real natural state of life. Therefore, when one is in complete knowledge, one ceases all material sense gratification or renounces all kinds of sense gratificatory activities. This is practiced by the yogis who restrain the senses from material attachment. तो प्रभुपाद यहाँ पे बता रहे हैं कि जो भक्त है वो भी क्या करता है, उसे पता है कि वो भगवान का अंश है और भगवान के अंश का क्या ड्यूटी क्या है, भगवान की सेवा करना, और इसीलिए वो किसी भी भौतिक कार्य में अपने आप को नहीं जोड़ता है, बट जो भी कार्य करता है भगवान की सेवा के लिए करता है, और इस कारण से ही इज फ्री फ्रॉम ऑल सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेटरी एक्टिविटीज, राइट। और जो योगी है वो भी यही ट्राई कर रहा है, वो भी क्या कर रहा है, प्रत्याहार, इज ट्राइंग टू टेक द माइंड अवे फ्रॉम ऑल अदर मटेरियल एक्टिविटीज, right, and then dharana, dhyan and samadhi, then focus it on the Lord, meditate on the Lord, like that. So yogi bhi wahi kar raha hai, right? Therefore a Krishna conscious person is simultaneously a sannyasi and a yogi. इसलिए जो भगवान का भक्त है वो simultaneously सन्यासी भी है, योगी भी है. The purpose of knowledge and restraining the senses as prescribed in the jnana and yoga processes is automatically served in Krishna consciousness. If one is unable to give up the activities of selfish nature, then jnana and yoga are of no avail. तो अगर कोई व्यक्ति ज्ञान योग कर रहा है या अष्टांग योग कर रहा है, बट अपने अपनी संतुष्टि, अपनी इंद्रिय तृप्ति की इच्छाओं को त्याग नहीं पा रहा है, तो फिर वैसे योग का कुछ ज्यादा फायदा नहीं है, वो कुछ ज्यादा एडवांस नहीं हो पाया, right? The real aim of living entity to give up all selfish satisfaction and to be prepared to satisfy the Supreme. A Krishna conscious person has no desire of any kind of self-enjoyment. He is always engaged for enjoyment of the Supreme. One who has no information of the Supreme must therefore be engaged in self-satisfaction, because no one can stand on the platform of inactivity. All purposes are perfectly served by the practice of Krishna consciousness. किसी को ये पता ही नहीं है कि मुझे भगवान के लिए कार्य करना है, वो अपने लिए कार्य करेगा, राइट? चुपचाप तो बैठ नहीं सकता, राइट? ऐसा भी नहीं कुछ नहीं करे, जो बोलते भी हैं कि हाँ हम कुछ नहीं करेंगे, जो मौन व्रत भी धारण कर लेते हैं, वो भी कार्य ही कर रहे हैं. At the end of the day, they cannot live without activity, right? They have to do some or the other activity. तो जो भगवान का भक्त है, जो भगवान की भक्ति कर रहा है, वो ऑलरेडी संन्यास और योग के प्लेटफॉर्म पे स्थित है. नेक्स्ट श्लोका. आरुरुक्षोर मुनेर्योगम कर्म कारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव महाकारणमुच्यते. Yes. Translation, someone can read.
For one who is neophyte in the eightfold of yoga system, work is said to be the means, and for one who is already elevated in yoga, cessation of all material activities is said to be means.
Yes. So, जो neophyte stage में है, जो beginning stages में है, for one who is neophyte in the eightfold yoga system, work is said to be the means, right? What he has to do, there are do's and don'ts. He has to work. For one who is already elevated in yoga, cessation of all material activities is said to be the means. Pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, right? Cessation of all material activities. So भगवान यहाँ पे distinction बता रहे हैं. जो neophyte है वो योगा रुरुक्ष, जो advanced stage है वो योगा रूढ़ा, right? Purport. The process of linking oneself with the Supreme is called yoga. It may be compared to a ladder for attaining the topmost spiritual realization. This ladder begins from the lowest material condition of living entity and rises up to perfect self-realization in pure spiritual life. According to various elevations, different parts of the ladder are known by different names. But all in all, the complete ladder is called yoga and may be divided into three parts, namely Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. The beginning of the ladder is called Yoga Ruruksha stage and the highest rung is called Yoga Ruda stage. Concerning the eightfold yoga system, attempts is being made to enter into meditation through regulative principles of life and practice of different sitting postures, which are more or less bodily exercises, are considered fruitive material activities. All such activities lead to achieving perfect mental equilibrium to control the senses. when one is accomplished in the practice of meditation, he ceases all disturbing mental activities. Right? A Krishna conscious person, however, is situated from the beginning on the platform of meditation because he always thinks of Krishna. And being constantly engaged in service of Krishna, he is considered to have ceased all material activities. So, यहाँ पे Prabhupada वही बता रहे हैं. In fact, I'll just write the yoga ladder also. So, okay. So ladder, right? Going a chane, but ladder, right? So this is Krishna, and this is Jiva. So for Jiva to reach Krishna, right? There are different rungs. Rungs matlab different steps on the ladder, right? So यहाँ पे ये है कर्मकांड. Then this is the first rung is Karma Yoga. Then the next one is Jnana Yoga. Then the next one is Ashtanga Yoga. And finally, the last one is Bhakti Yoga. So, for the Jiva to reach Krishna, right, this first rung is actually Karma Yoga. Yoga means to connect, right? Then Jnana Yoga, then Ashtanga or Dhyana Yoga, and then Bhakti Yoga. Karma Kand bhi hai, but Karma Kand is not even considered as one step to connect. Karma Kand matlab भगवान एक नारियल चढ़ाऊंगा मेरे को पास कर देना. That is Karma Kand. That's like a trade, right? या आज मैं you know ये करूंगा तो मुझे ये चाहिए, right? मैं ये यज्ञ करूंगा तो मेरे को ये फल चाहिए, right? So that is Karma Kand. It's like a business deal with the Lord, right? Then Karma Yoga is, oh Lord, whatever activities I'm doing, the result I'm offering to you. At least a portion of the result I'm offering to you. And when the Karma Yoga elevates, so becomes Nishkam Karma Yoga. There is Sakam, कि मेरे को कामना है, मेरे को भी कुछ चाहिए, but एक portion मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ. And when it elevates further, it becomes Nishkam. Nishkam means I don't want any results. Everything is for your satisfaction. And then जब Nishkam Karma Yoga के आगे, when somebody is performing Karma Yoga, actually he thinks कि अरे इतना मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, इतना मेहनत कर रहा हूँ, right? At the end of the day, you know, what is the use of all of this, right? He becomes jnani, right? Like Bhagwan भी बता रहे हैं कि Karma Yoga leads to transcendental knowledge. So then that's Jnana Yoga, right? Right now what we are doing is also Jnana Yoga. We're trying to understand the Lord through intelligence. So Shastra Padna, these are all part of Jnana Yoga. Then comes Ashtanga Yoga. Oh, the Lord is like this, right? If you have to love someone, you have to know about the person, right? Prabhupada gave the example, right? If you have to love Mr. John, you have to know about him, right? So he said like that. So, but when somebody starts describing, you know, there is this person, he's so wonderful, such nice person, he serves people, वो आके अच्छे सबसे बात करते हैं, जो जिसको जो जरूरत है वो दान देते हैं, and then ultimately like his name is Mr. John. You automatically feel respect for Mr. John, right? There is some, you know, nice warm feelings about him, and then when you meet the person, you're like, oh wow, even more like that. So that is, you know, this Jnana Yoga. We're trying to understand Krishna, right? So we're trying to learn about him. Who is Krishna? How? What are his characteristics? What is his personality? And then, so Bhakti Yoga is like the superset. उसके अंदर ये सारा का सारा आ जाता है. तो अभी मैं जो भी बता रहा था, that was from the angle of Bhakti. Understanding Krishna, understanding who is it. This is all from the angle of Bhakti. The same process can be done minus Bhakti also, right? कोई कर्म योग कर रहा है, कर्म बोला है, कर्म करना है, कहते कि मेहनत करना है, right? Those are not even actually karma yogi. They are less than karma kandis also, right? Or maybe just the karma kandis. कर्म योगी कि ठीक है, मैं काम करूंगा but मुझे फल की इच्छा नहीं, right? There's no connection or relation to God. They are just having renunciation, that's it, right? ज्ञाना, इधर कुछ सुन लिया, उधर कुछ सुन लिया, कभी कुछ और ये पढ़ लिया, कभी कुछ और पढ़ लिया, right? Trying to understand, but they don't have a very specific conclusion कि Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? अष्टांग योगा ध्यान कर लिया, अरे मेरे को लाइट दिख रहा है, right? You know, I can see somebody's aura. So portions of Ashtanga yoga without bhakti at all, right? Ultimately, they have to come to bhakti if they want to connect to God, right? So यहाँ पे लोग बहुत सारे mystic चीजें बोल सकते हैं, कर सकते हैं. There's a sannyasi in our movement, his known as Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He actually went to the Himalayas. He traveled from the west on foot to India. He had a calling, and he started, right? And then he lived in the Himalayas, और वहाँ पर he actually met बहुत बड़ा पूरा book है journey home. So there are so many past adventures described. So वहाँ पर वो बताते हैं he met the Naga Babas, right? Those who are living in Himalayas fully naked, right? पूरे बर्फ में उनको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है. Some are hundreds of years old, and he described that there were people who were वैसे बैठे हैं and they would rise in air, right? But then he says, I was not very impressed by that. Imagine अभी यहाँ पे आकर कोई ऐसे उड़ जाए यहाँ से, वो यहाँ पे पूरा भीड़ लग जाएगा, अरे सब पैर पकड़ लेंगे, right? But he says he was not very impressed. But when he met, then he came back somehow, आगे journey continue, and he landed up in Vrindavan. और वहाँ पे वो Prabhupada से मिले, like yes, this is the right place, and he surrendered completely, right? So बहुत सारे लोगों को ये सारी चीजों में हो जाते हैं, mystic yoga, mystic powers. जैसे अष्टांग योग में, right? There's a lot of siddhis one gets, anima, laghima, prapti. There's so many siddhis. One can become smaller than the smallest, right? Like a small cheetah. And one can become really huge, right? One can, transfer himself to any location he wants. One can become lighter than air. One can become heavier than a mountain. All of that is there. But these are still material. They're not on the spiritual plane. So, without bhakti, there are all these traps. One can, easily get illusioned and swayed into those things. So, the beginning of yoga ladder is called yoga ruruksha, and the highest one is called yoga rudha, right? So, यहाँ पर भी अगर आप देखेंगे, I think at least this part, some part of jnana can also. This is yoga ruruksha, and this portion can be yoga rudha. Of course, Ashtanga yoga, he also has to be, on the higher rungs, right? But opportunity for yoga rudha is here. Mostly yoga ruruksha out there.
So for devotees, how does the ladder go? We still have to go same, right?
No, good point. So for devotees, they are starting directly with bhakti, right? We are starting with chanting. We have a lift. We don't need a ladder. We have a lift directly bhakti yoga. So we can chant. There are 9 limbs, right? Navda bhakti. What is Navda bhakti? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Atma Nivedanam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam, right? ये 9 अंग है भक्ति के, डायरेक्ट भक्ति, right? भगवान के बारे में सुनना, श्रवणम, जो विचार कर रहे हैं हम लोग, कीर्तनम, हमने थोड़ा देर कीर्तन किया, right? स्मरणम, भगवान का ध्यान करना, भगवान को याद करना, right? पाद सेवनम, भगवान के लिए सेवा करना, अर्च वगैरह की सेवा करना, वंदनम, भगवान को प्रणाम करना, दास्यम, भगवान का एक दास के रूप में, दास के भाव से सेवा करना, साख्यम, भगवान के सखा के रूप में सेवा करना, राइट? आत्मनिवेदन, fully surrendered, भगवान, मतलब everything for the Lord, nothing for myself. That's the last stage. Now the bhakti. So ये direct devotional service. So we engage in that. We are doing bhakti yoga. But then when we are engaged in our other material activities, that is also karma yoga with bhakti, karma mishri bhakti. When we are doing other studies and we are connecting somewhere, this is what also is said by Prabhupada. This is also what is said by some maybe Maitreya Muni Bhagavatam or something like that. So then we are doing Yoga Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Yoga Mishra Bhakti, like that. And this is direct Bhakti.
Share something. With an Ashtanga Yoga में it is said कि अगर ये 8 steps नहीं करने हैं, सिर्फ वो 3 steps भी काफी है, तपस, स्वाध्याय और ईश्वर प्रणिधान.
Correct. Because that's the goal. Ultimate goal is tapasya, swadhyaya, leading to Ishwar Pranidhan. So Ishwar Pranidhan or going towards Krishna is the ultimate goal. So a Krishna conscious person, he is from the beginning. That's the last line which I was about to say. Is from the beginning. He is situated on the platform meditation because he always thinks of Krishna, and being constantly engaged in service of Krishna, he is considered to have ceased all material activities, which means he is on the highest stages of the yoga, Ashtanga yoga as well. Okay. The last sloka for today. Yada hi nendriyartheshu na karmasva anusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyase yogarudhastadochyate. A person is said to be elevated in yoga when, having renounced all material desires, he neither acts for sense gratification nor engages in fruitive activities. एक व्यक्ति योग में निपुण तब कहलाया जाता है जब वो सारे भौतिक कार्य को त्याग करके अपनी इंद्रियों की इच्छा पूर्ति के लिए नहीं बट और भगवान के लिए कार्य करे. So when a person is fully engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord, he is pleased in himself, and thus he is no longer engaged in sense gratification or in fruitive activities. जो भक्त रहता है वो अपने खुशी के लिए कार्य नहीं करता, तो कृष्ण उसकी खुशी के लिए कार्य करते हैं. राइट? कंपटीशन है भक्त और भगवान में. भक्त क्या कर रहा है? कृष्ण कैसे खुश हो, और उस तरह से कार्य करता है. तो भगवान के सामने से अरे भक्त कैसे खुश रहे, भगवान कार्य करते हैं. राइट? यहां पे अगर हम अपने लिए कार्य करते रहेंगे, अरे मैं कैसे खुश रहा हूं, you'll be miserable. Bhagavatam says this. Bhagavatam बताता है, the minute you start planning to be happy, the misery starts right at that moment. जिस पल से हम अपना खुशी के लिए तैयारी करना शुरू करते हैं, उसी पल से दुख चालू होता है. उसी पल से. हाँ? So be happy while serving Krishna. This is the formula, right? When you think how to serve Krishna, how to make him happy, Krishna starts thinking how to make this person happy. And thereby, the devotee is always happy. Right? Brahma bhuta prasanna atma, na sachati na kamshati. Right? So he is pleased in himself, and thus he has no longer engaged in sense gratification. Usko sense gratification chahiye nahi. He is already pleased because Krishna has given so much bliss. Already higher taste mil chuka hai, kyun kachara dekhega? Right? Otherwise, one must be engaged in sense gratification, since one cannot live without engagement. Right? Without Krishna consciousness, one must be always seeking self-centered or extended selfish activities. But a Krishna conscious person can do everything for satisfaction of Krishna and thereby be perfectly detached from sense gratification. One who has no such realization must mechanically try to escape material desires before being elevated to the top rung of yoga ladder. Right? जिसको भगवान के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता है, no such realization, at least mechanically try to follow the yoga ladder and try to escape the material desires as much as possible. Even somebody who's mechanically trying to give up material desires, he is better situated than somebody who's completely into material desires. Right? All right, we'll stop here. यहीं पे हम रोकते हैं आज. We'll do a short kirtan, I think, before we move ahead. किसी का कोई question है before kirtan? Sorry. Any questions? Any reflections? Reflection is anything you like from the class which got stuck in your head, which you think you can meditate on and apply. That's a reflection. So, any questions or reflections?
Ladder thing I like. Here directly behind.
Yes. Anyone online? Anyone here? Any questions or reflections? हमें समझ जाए पहले. Any questions? Balaji? Anything? Okay. Anyone online? Okay, so we'll do a short kirtan and then we'll end the class. Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bharata Prabhu. Someone knows how to play kartal, I can play mridanga. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you everyone.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Please come over next time. All those who are attending online and they are in Bombay, are invited to come to Radha Rasgiri temple, take darshan and then participate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Definitely try Prabhuji.
Yes, yes. Hare Krishna.